baby girl less than you, all that I see and I got for ya. I'm a child of the kingdom, I love you like you're my God for ya.
Mfweni baby, love yanti yama sure def yama maybe. Freshness kweno kumibunka teti, chupo chisuchena alatepa tali baby. Mwale ngire ne walele mbuke, mfuke, ine aute team fyuke, mpaka fie baba fyashine.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Love Sunday Show.
Yes.
Which is also the Love Sunday podcast with your hosts, Pastor Daniel Mzonga Kaira and
Pastor Mavis Kaira.
Yes, we are back again, and today, as you can see, we are rocking our
Love Sunday t-shirts.
Because it's the Love Sunday Show.
Yes.
But also, Love Sunday 2023 is coming up, and it's going to be held where?
At Sunset Stadium.
Which is where?
Okay, so Sunset Stadium is located, let's just say, along Thabo-Mbeki Road, but it's actually off Thabo-Mbeki Road, behind Protea. Okay,
Yes.
if you know where Protea Hotel is, just in that same road. It's the only stadium there, so it will be easy for you to locate it.
It's right in between the new ABSA complex,
Yes.
the new ABSA building. There's a nice building they built for ABSA.
Yes.
And NASDAQ. So if you know NASDAQ, don't go anywhere to any other stadium. Just remember, if I reach NASDAQ, I've reached Love Sunday.
Yes.
Okay? So Love Sunday is coming up. We want to see you there. We want to see you in your numbers. Tell your friend, your father, your mother, everyone, they are all invited.
Everybody.
We want to see them.
Yes.
So welcome to today's show. We are excited about it. And I guess today I'm going to allow my wife, Pastor Mavis, to pick the question.
Woo! Excited.
She can read it.
All right. I just want to make sure I pick a really good one.
As if you're saying, tell me what.
Okay, so let's see what we have here. We have number 8.
Okay.
Number 8. Let's see what number 8 says.
Number 8.
Okay, so number 8. Okay, where is it on? Here we go. So number 8 is actually addressed to the daughters. Okay? So number 8 says, "Dear daughter, I hear you had a dream about who your husband to be is, but he currently sees you only as a sister and nothing more."
That is the spelling of pen.
I also hear you really want the word to come to pass. Firstly, I believe in prophetic dreams, but pursuit is not your responsibility. It's the man's job. And then, why are you dropping hints like it's an application letter in a jobless country?
Yeah. Who said that?
Okay, so perhaps 2 or 3.
You wrote that one?
I didn't know.
The
You
jobs.
did. Perhaps 2 or 3 are sufficient. Talk to your pastor about it and pray correctly. Anything above that is off. Keep your integrity. Remember, love is patient. It does not insist on its
On.
way.
Oh, wow.
That's what it says.
I think that's a very powerful thing. You know, I had one time a certain young lady coming to me and asking what to do if she has a vision or a dream about the man that she feels is the man that God has given her. And I think that's where this letter came from.
Yes.
So I believe God can show you who you're supposed to marry. I mean, God told me about you. It's a story for another day. But you know, when a woman wants to see who's supposed to be her husband, that's a bit tricky. Because then, okay, if God shows you that it is Christopher, what are you going to do? Are you going to pursue him? Are you going to tell him, "Hey, I'm having a vision this side. Why are you not doing anything? It's been 3 years." So as a woman, it's very tricky. This is why I would advise all women to just leave it.
Yeah.
Because, you see, the moment that you begin pursuing a man, and the man is aware that you like him, many men do not like women that pursue them. They will abuse you, or they'll start feeling like they were trapped in the relationship. Men like to work for a relationship. They like to feel like, I've written the letters on, I've written the message. These days they don't write letters. I've written the message, I don't know what she's going to reply. Let's see. And then after she refuses, she's like, I'm going to try again. Maybe I just need to use fresh English. You know, that's how men are. They like to work for it. Even Jacob worked for Rachel, Rebecca. That's important. When people who are working behind, who are not helping. So Jacob worked for his bride. The same way that even Jesus worked for the bride. That's basically how it's supposed to be. A man must work for it. I'm not talking about laboring where it's super difficult, but at least a woman must feel pursued. You must notice that a man loves you and the man is coming after you. In fact, there's safety in that. But a man who you are going after, one day he will say that, no, she was just throwing herself on me.
That's true.
And then you're not going to blame anyone. So that's the first part. The first part is, why do you want to see a vision? Because if you see it, then it becomes difficult, because as a woman, you don't pursue men. You don't. By the way, we don't believe that thing where women get on their knee and they engage a man.
No.
Would you marry me? And the man says yes. And they then hug. The man even starts crying. I mean, I've got issues with those ones. So a woman must maintain her integrity. But there is also a place where there's nothing wrong with you liking a man, because you can. But when you like a man, what do you do?
Okay.
This is where we're now saying that there is this one is tricky, but you can drop hints. How are you going to drop them? I don't know. But you can greet someone, encourage them. I don't know how you're going to do it. I can't teach you all the game for women. Maybe we should call this episode Game for Women. Even just discussing it is a bit hard. But there was a time when Naomi wanted, when Naomi wanted Ruth to be married to Boaz, and what she advised her was to go where he was working. So sometimes being around someone can make you noticeable. But again, if you overdo it, that's where we are throwing out those jabs. You don't overdo it. Relax, you're a woman. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Wow. May I also add my take?
By all means.
Which camera do I look into so that it sinks into these daughters' heads? All right. So thank you so much for that input, Pastor. And I think what I can add on to that is, number one, what is the definition of a pursuit? Okay, a pursuit is chasing after something. So now, if you are the one that is initiating that chasing after, it will leave the man with no purpose to do in the relationship, because he's the one who should be the initiator of the pursuit. Okay, he needs to be chasing after something. So now, if you're both chasing each other, it doesn't really add up. It doesn't really make any sense. All right. So, and what many people don't seem to understand also is that pursuit doesn't end. It doesn't mean because this girl has now accepted to be your girlfriend or all that stuff, then the pursuit ends. So, and pursuit continues even in marriage till this day. I'm very much expectant for you to pursue me. And so what ends up happening is that from the very foundational stages, if you as the woman are the initiator for everything, the conversations, the dates, and the everything, you will have to carry that load over your head up until the rest of the relationship. And that's something that people don't seem to understand. The next thing that I'm going to mention is that really when a woman, after it's been revealed to you, even by God, that this is the person who you're supposed to marry, if you decide to act impulsively on that revelation and not patiently, do you know that you're actually stepping away from the will of God? Because the Bible tells us that love is patient. salvation. All right, and God does not orchestrate disorder or any of those things. For me, I believe if He reveals it to me, He has to reveal it to the man as well. Okay, and you as the woman, you have to exercise patience. You have to be patient enough and trust that God has to reveal it to the man as well. Okay,
because also the Bible does not say she who finds.
It's
So,
very important.
if the Bible says he who finds, why is she finding?
Precisely.
Please go.
Precisely, yes. I think that's basically what I have to say. So number one, you have to, you know, really understand what a pursuit is. It's him chasing after something. Make him actually chase after something. And pursuit does not end simply because I still demand to this day. Pastor still has to call me. He has to text me. Just recently, he was about to surprise me with, you know, a gift. And I ruined it.
Accidentally stumbled upon
it. But if you know me, okay, I'm not so big on surprises. I actually like to enjoy my gifts. So even before he gets me something, I like to inspect it.
Meanwhile, she likes surprising.
I know, I like surprising him, but me, I like to enjoy my gifts. If you're going to get me something, let me at least enjoy it. So I inspected it and I was just like, you know what, sir? Let's edit a few things here and there. So anyways, basically what I'm just trying to explain is that that's him still pursuing me. To this date, imagine this man still thinks of surprising me. I mean, we're married. I even gave him a child. You know what more? What more would he want? But you see, and that's the thing. He's still chasing after
and
that.
there's also this thing in women. Every woman has this thing. Every woman wants to feel pursued. It's a feeling that's in a woman, which is not in a man. A man feels like it's danger when a man is being pursued. So if now you get a man used to being pursued, and then he doesn't do it because he feels like you forced him into this thing and you trapped him into it, there will be a part of you which will be feeling unfulfilled.
Yeah.
So the whole idea of pursuing a man, no. So thank you so much for having joined us.
Yes.
On this segment of the Dear Daughter, Dear Son letter. Let's check out what is there in the Utumensu segment.
Yes.
See you next week.
See you.
Hi, my name is Pastor Flavian Mpemo, and I'm with my wife. We are the Mpemos.
How did you two meet? Pastor Flavian first.
We met at Munza, long story short. So it was 19th May 2016. I was supposed to have been doing a poem with a brother called Abraham. So long story short, I went to see him. Was supposed to meet up for a rehearsal, and I found her with him at the time. I think they were having some school stuff to do or something like that. That's when I met her, 19th May. Unza.
We met at the mentorship, Upper Room 10, Pastor Daniel's mentorship, Sir Daniel 10. That's what we met. That's where I first saw him, but apparently he first saw me on that day when I was with Abraham, but I had seen him before that day.
Did you feel anything?
No.
That's that much of the script. You said you saw him before.
Yes.
You didn't think anything.
No.
You know, by seeing him, like, different guy.
I just saw him the way I saw everyone else.
What was your first impression of him or her? This is Bill first.
Yeah, I just thought he was very serious. Very serious, very formal. Whenever we were the first time we had a mentorship class after I joined, we had this because I knew the other people in the mentorship group through WhatsApp. We chat in the group, then we chat with some others in the inbox, so I sort of knew the people even back then. So the day after the mentorship was time for us to get to hang out, talk to each other. So the first, so it was an opportunity for us to meet, talk to each other. But for him, after the mentorship, he just said hi to maybe 1 or 2 people and he left. We had this habit of just hanging around after the class, chatting and staying for hours, even after the mentorship class. But for him, just greeted the people. I don't know if he did a group greet, hi everyone, and then he left.
It's probably going to study or something.
Okay. See? Yeah, but he was just very serious. Yeah, that was my first impression of him.
Did he look dateable?
I thought he was engaged. Because he was so serious. So I just thought, this is probably what this guy is like this because he's taken. That's what I thought.
I've never thought about whether I had any first impression in the first place, because the way I met her, I was very focused on just talking to Abraham that day, because we were supposed to talk about the poem that I was supposed to do. So I actually didn't pay attention to
me.
So necessarily I wouldn't say I had this first impression. The only time it dawned on me was when I was on my way back. I think that was by Zambezi, the hostels. Then I had a moment, who is that? And immediately had this flash decision to fast for 3 days. I had no impression, I think. Yeah, I think that's what I would say.
Okay.
Was any song in the EP about your wife?
No, but there's a song that came because of my wife. So Fresh Love. That's what I would have sung for her if with the time I was dating, but it was too late. We're married now, so I mean, if you get the song, it's for someone who's single. But it came as a result of doing something for her. So I was cooking Shima for her. So as I was cooking, I just began hearing an instrumental a melody in my heart, and before I finished cooking, I just recorded on my phone and I had the song. Yeah, pretty much. So it was because of her, but not necessarily for her, because it talks about a single guy.
Mrs. Zunga, what was your friend's impression of him when you first introduced him to them?
My friends thought he was a really nice guy, a good guy. Yeah, for the most part. Really, that's it.
They thought she was this pretty girl who was I sure she was the one I was supposed to go for, something like that, because she was too pretty, something like that. But yeah,
Is that so?
much. Yeah.
Who said I love you first?
I did.
After how long of dating?
After maybe that's May, November, 5, 7, about 7 months, 6, 7 months.
Of dating.
No, not of dating, of having met her. Because I proposed in September, then she said yes in November, 26th November. So I think thereabouts. So about 7 months into having met her.
I started going to the House of Faith Church in 2016. That's when we officially started having meetings. That was December October, November or December. I can't remember the exact month. And interestingly, that was the year I joined the mentorship. Yeah, so within that year, joined the mentorship for those months before October, November or December, any of those months when we actually started meeting. So from its inception, really.
Before it began, because I started being mentored by my pastor in 2014, just after being led to the Lord, a few months after being led to the Lord in August 2014. So yeah, I was pretty much there before it began. So it began, it was just a transition from the mentorship to the church.
What lessons did you learn that helped you date correctly as Christians from previous Love Sundays?
Okay, so the one lesson that I've learned from Pastor, from Love Sunday teachings, like previous Love Sundays, is I'll use a book that he launched on one Love Sunday, okay? The epic clash of romance and
Foundation.
thank you. So in that book, Pastor talked about the stages of a relationship, and for me, because we dated from 2016, we got married in 2020 from 2016, so that was a long time for for us to go through that transition. If you haven't read the book, get the book, read it. Yeah. So we talked about how there's this stage of a relationship where everything, it's like you're in your euphoria, it's exciting, boy meets girl and everything. But then after that stage, you begin to, it's like the euphoria fades off, and then now you have to be intentional about your relationship. And that's one thing that really helped us to just become intentional. And it's like it happens in every relationship, right? And for most people, it really, that's where many people break up and everything, because it requires some work from you. So that's one thing that I learned.
One thing I learned from my man of God, he's taught us so many things, primarily by his lifestyle, his relationship with Mom Mavis, Pastor Mavis. But one thing that he's taught us is being unoffendable. I'll pick that one out, because in a relationship, there's always an opportunity to be offended. In Bemba we say, imiti purapam taiwo kwesana. Trees that are in the same space sort of rub against each other here and there, maybe because of wind, maybe because of what. Yeah. So I think being unoffendable prepares you and gives your heart enough room to be able to accommodate offense, potential offense, and be able to forgive your partner. I think that is really good for a healthy relationship. So in summary, that's what I would point out. There are many other things, but I think I'll point that one out.
Did you know you were marrying a pastor?
Yes, I knew, because there were many signs. Like I said, he was a very serious person. He just pointed in that direction. No, not the serious part, I was just joking. But he actually told me that he was a ministry guy.
What advice would you give a girl who doesn't like
Pastor.
She shouldn't.
ministry guys?
She shouldn't date. She shouldn't date or get involved with anyone who is in ministry, because it requires your willingness. I advise such a person to not get in a relationship or involved with someone who is in ministry, who might become a pastor, an evangelist. Who is a pastor and evangelist, who is called, because it requires you to be accepting of that person and their calling, and to know that this is what's ahead, so that you don't frustrate other person, and also so that you don't end up with certain consequences, or you don't end up with a judgment on your life because you frustrated someone's ministry. That's my advice.
I'd like to add on into that one. Number one, it will also matter. So that's the counsel that she's given is very paramount. And the other thing is also an introspective one. Why don't you like a person who's in ministry, or why wouldn't you like? I think it's important to understand the why, because it may be for selfish reasons, like maybe you're just lazy, maybe you just don't want to be serious with God or ministry. So I think the why also matters. If it's for reasons that perhaps are more conviction, and perhaps that's the direction that the Lord has led you, it's fine. But you have to be sure, because at the end of the day, you can also miss out on purpose because you shun a ministry guy on account of maybe things or sacrifices that you are not ready or willing to take, which would be obvious in a sense, because ministry is demanding and it's also rewarding. So it shouldn't be something we're scared of. The point I'm trying to drive is it shouldn't be scared. We're born into ministry. At the end of the day, the fivefold ministry is there so that we're equipped for ministry. So if it's something you're scared of, it should also point to what's your level of maturity in the faith, and what's your passion for the Lord. What do you really want to do with your life? So I think on the other side.
Hey you. should come for this.
Love Sunday.
Okay, what we were simply trying to say is that on Saturday, 6th May 2023, we're having Love Sunday.
Yes.
On a Saturday, and we're inviting you. Oh, and I'm the real artist here. She was trying to just take my shoe. Supposed to be me.
You should have done it.
What is his favorite song?
Never do.
Yes, it's okay. Which song? Is it generally songs or songs by me? Because there are songs by me and songs by others. It would be Nkong.
Your own song is your favorite song.
That is not fair. Just agree. That everywhere
No, that's all I wanted to ask.
you
Okay.
sleep.
Everything is
He talks about it every time.
Okay.
My favorite song. This is my favorite.
Her favorite song.
I would say Jared. It's hard.
For now, until next
Yeah.
year. Until the next episode.
It's true.
Jared is not my favorite song anymore.
1-0. What is her favorite movie?
I don't know.
What is his favorite
He
movie?
doesn't have.
Yeah, that's true. I don't watch movies.
What is her favorite food?
She doesn't really have a favorite. She has a number. She doesn't have like one.
John 5.
Caterpillars. Chinyonge.
That's
There's
what
Chinyonge, there's fish like dried fish, curled dried fish. Katapa. That's like cassava leaves.
Okay, mention something.
Cassava leaves
Something
and
like a
pizza
restaurant.
and
Pizza. Okay.
what else? She likes wraps. I think generally wraps. Yeah. Quesadillas. Yeah.
What's his favorite food?
He doesn't have one. Quesadillas and everything. Okay, he doesn't like. Let me not talk about what he doesn't like. Anything cooked well.
What's his middle name?
Yeah. His middle name is Kyla.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Mtali. Evelyn is her first name. Evelyn Mtali. So Mtali.
What is one travel destination they would love to go?
The UK.
That was easy. Yeah. There are a lot. Canada is one of them. Australia. Let me just say Canada for now because we've been talking about it I don't know how many times.
Baby, that's not my ultimate favorite.
You've got 4 guesses to get her ultimate favorite.
What's the name of that place? It's got this green. The name has gone.
But
4 guesses.
this is we got a chance.
The one where the video for this girl is it Kim Walker. Okay, help me. Can
4 guesses. 4 guesses.
Baby,
Yes.
try.
Canada also 3 more. I can't remember the name.
Baby, 4 guesses.
It's like
Just a guess. You're not like guessing. How much have you percent?
Stress my brain.
Baby in Switzerland, don't worry.
Oh yes. It went like totally.
Did you say Venezuela?
Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
What's the name of the hospital she was born in?
That's interesting.
Home. Yeah, the name of the hospital was a home because she was not born.
Your hospital? No, your girl was not born in hospital. But she was taken to a hospital afterwards. What's the
You
name
didn't
of
have
the
to be born in the hospital.
What's the name of the hospital? I was taken
My love is something.
baby. Yes, there's just one hospital in that area, isn't it? But look at what? Me, I don't even know it.
Confirming.
Oh,
And him?
it's called home.
There's a one at home.
Zambia General Hospital.
Baby, no, you're not the one who was there. Mom said you were born home.
There are different versions.
It's called home. And it's mom who said, mother. She said home.
Okay, we'll take what mom said.
Okay.
Welcome to today's Yakaba Moments. And in today's Yakaba Moments, here is the scenario. You have been talking to a guy every day. You have long calls and texts the whole day. In fact, when his talk time finishes, he gets his mother's phone to call you. He suddenly goes quiet on you. You discuss with your friend, and when she asks him, he says, there was never anything between the two of you. You have been talking to a guy every day. You have long calls and text the whole day. In fact, when his talk time finishes, he gets his mother's phone to call you. He suddenly goes quiet on you. You discuss with your friend, and when she asks him, he says, there was never anything between the two of you?
First of all, I would be shocked and disappointed, of course, because I've invested my time, I've invested my emotions in this person whom I thought was in the same boat with me, and I seem to be in the boat alone. Of course, I'd be disappointed, but of course not linger in the disappointment. I'll try to move on, try to talk to people that can help me get over the disappointment and focus on other things to occupy myself. That's a lie. That's a huge lie. Then why were we wasting each other's time? Why were you playing with your mom's phone? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You can't be investing your time in someone else like that only to say you never said anything. That's strange.
For you to just begin to talk to someone, it means you've already seen something in them, and then you know that maybe your relationship will go to the next level or something. So basically that thing, like, it just gives you courage, and then like you just hold on to it. So I would respond like to having a conversation with her, like just sit down and find out why she wasted my time and why she's doing what she's doing.
Yo! Never anything happening. Yo! Like, honestly, nothing. Because that's like my time invested. Long calls. Even get his mom, so the mom even knows me. And then he says there's nothing happening. Well, I think I would just take some time off, because that's just wasting my time. Probably delete his number, block him, because that's emotional damage.
It's a lot of emotional distress on my part. I mean, as a guy, I mean, I would have invested a lot of emotions, like trying to connect to her and trying to, push things, you would expect that it was going somewhere, but her suddenly ghosting me would crush me emotionally.
Firstly, that would really hurt me emotionally. That there's a lot of investment in that, mentally, emotionally, and it can really be hurtful when he says to his friend that nothing was going on. It can be really hurtful because all the time that you were spending over the phone, it felt like a relationship was being built up. So when it suddenly just goes off, it really, really hurts.
So at that point, I know enough to respect myself and leave that situation, because like there's a whole of uncertainty that happened there and not. And for the fact that he doesn't want to be associated with me, I don't think there's a point in like forcing anything. So I respect myself and remove myself from that.
Like I would ask him the reason why he ghosted, like in a very unattached way, like just like a mere question, but then it's burning inside, it's hurting. But then I would ask him like, you went quiet, like what happened? What happened? You went quiet. And then I hear his reasons. And then from the reasoning, I think I can just ask, like maybe, like I would explain still. Like I got used to us talking and then you just ghosted. What happened? And then if I hear what he says, then maybe I can make a conclusion from that. If it's still not clear, then because I heard the friend say, because sometimes you find people give responses based on specific things.
He was getting my attention, and then all of a sudden he just says there was nothing between us. Okay, I'll ask him, never waste my time again. Like, why are you coming to ask me all these things, long calls, night calls, and then you tell me there was nothing in between? I'll ask him, I'll follow him first, so I can close the issue, to be at peace with myself.
Okay, well that's a scenario that I feel like a lot of us actually experience. But in a situation where someone just decides to ghost you, it definitely means that their intentions were not good. Sometimes we have to be thankful for such situations because it didn't go so far as for him to actually hurt you in a manner which would make it difficult for you to heal. So to some extent, I think praying about it and thanking God for how things turned out and for him maybe protecting you from that particular situation, not knowing how it was going to end, it would be very saddening, like it would be very sad, but then to some extent there would be some form of relief because now you know that perhaps they were not in your life for the right reason. So you just accept it and move on.